include you, Amber, you know, where I've been blessed with having people with amazing, positive energy.
Oh,
I love it.
definitely.
All right, well, here we go. Hello, welcome to another awesome edition of our MUA edition with Chari Slayz on Wiseman TV. How you doing, Chari?
I'm doing good, and you? Hope all is well. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Forever humbled and grateful.
Definitely, definitely.
Sorry, it's all you from here.
Oh, we're live. Well, good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to another edition of Chari Slayz here on Wiseman TV. This evening, we have the lovely Amber. How you doing, Amber?
Hey, good, good. I'm excited to be here.
I'm glad that you're here also. We're just going to get right into the interview, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. I like to start off with getting a little background on everybody I interview. So if you would like to just share some of your background with us.
Sure. So I'm born and raised in Boston. Hey, I'm a Roxbury kid.
Hey.
Yes. So I've gone to like private school, public school within Boston public schools and private schools. So I feel like that kind of defined who I was a little bit with like the contrasting environments a little bit. So that played a role into like going into school and then becoming a poet. So I'll talk a little bit about my performances in poetry. That actually got me into makeup artistry.
Okay.
I'll talk a little about that in a second, but sure. I am, like I said, born and raised in Boston. I'm a Roxbury kid. I am involved in the community through art. So I know a lot of artists, poets, musicians, visual artists, photographers. So I'm heavily involved in the artist scene in Boston right now. And yeah, I don't know what other questions on that would you like to ask?
Okay. As far as makeup, what got you into makeup?
Yeah, so with makeup, I am a spoken word performance poet. So I've been performing, actively performing since 2012. So after a while, people would start to ask me, I show up and made myself up, and they're like, who did your makeup? A lot of people started asking me like, who did my makeup? They thought I got it professionally done. So a light bulb went off. I'm like, oh, well, if everyone's asking me who did my makeup and I did it, maybe I should embark into the world of makeup artistry and actually have another side hustle and get paid to make people up. A lot of the time too, I was doing like friends' faces just because I liked it. So I would have my friends like buy their own foundation that matches them. I would do their face for like events and things that they a lot of them at the time didn't really know anything about makeup. So it was fun because even though I was not a professional makeup artist at that time, I still was able to make them feel beautiful and confident with whatever they had going on. So and I was of course doing that for free, just as something fun. And I feel like is really just the fact that I was performing like a lot. And like I said, people kept asking me who did my face. So it just like a light bulb went off and I'm like, oh, and I already have a community of artists that I could draw upon, so it's like everyone has photo shoots, videos. So it's like, it was automatically kind of a thing that went along with what I was doing in artistry because that just was my natural client base right away, was my fellow artists.
Oh, great, great, great. Next question. How long have you been doing makeup?
So professionally, I've been doing it for almost 2 years. So I went to the Elizabeth Grady School of Aesthetics and Massage Therapy for their makeup artist certificate program. So I was working full time, and in the evenings, Monday and Tuesdays actually, I would go there and just study it, practice. We had of course like a final and things like that. It was really great because I not only like knew what I knew, but I also was able to learn how to do makeup on everybody.
Yeah.
It's different, like the strategies behind it, the hygiene behind it. I got my certificate in December of 2018.
Okay.
So it's almost been 2 years. So as far as professionally doing it, but it's been about almost 2 years now, yeah.
2 years, all right. Excuse me. So, like you said, you came from the background of being a spoken poet. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So I've always been a writer, and so I kind of naturally started going to open mics and things during my college years. So I started performing and not being afraid. I got used to like performing and reading. So I was reading for a while, performing, and then shortly after I graduated college, I just got right back into it, where I was inspired. I had a group of poets that I'm involved in. If you could feel it, you could speak it open mic. So every second Thursday of the month, we had an event at Milky Way where it was like my home mic. I grew up as a spoken word artist within that. So I started to memorize because friends around me were memorizing their work. So I started to memorize my work, and it just took off from there. I write a lot about like my experience as a Black woman, my experience as a queer Black woman as well. Like I really, I work out of the veins. Audre Lorde said the personal is political. So the personal political is kind of like my umbrella as far as how I consider myself a spoken word poet. So yeah, and like I performed at the Museum of Fine Arts, Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. I opened up for Maimouna Youssef. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her, but she's Grammy nominated. I opened up for her at the Gardner Museum before. I performed, everywhere, really, in the city. I'm a teaching artist as well. So I also teach through poetry and spoken word.
Okay. What do you usually teach at, or so that way we can put the word out there?
Oh yeah, well, it depends. So because usually, so like for this summer, for example, I was a teaching artist with GROW, which is the Boston Police Department have a girls group. So with their girls group, I was a teaching artist for the summer. So it just varies on the season and who's hiring me. But I don't have, I pop in wherever I'm needed at.
Great. What are your visions and goals for your makeup artistry?
So yeah, I feel like I love making people feel beautiful. So I feel like makeup is for everybody, first of all. A lot of people will say, oh, makeup is for women. No, makeup is for everybody. Anyone that wants to rock a face and get glam, makeup is for everybody. So my goal, I love making people feel powerfully beautiful and confident. So when I started doing faces and I would see people's reactions, and it just warmed my heart. I'm like, oh my, they love the way they look. They feel confident. So when you feel confident and you enter a room, it creates a powerful energy. You feel yourself, and even if other people aren't feeling you, you're at least feeling yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
You're gonna walk into there and be confident and have a good time because it's that powerful energy. So I feel like my bend on makeup is like creating powerful moments through feeling powerfully beautiful.
Yes.
And I feel like the reactions just drive me when people like look in the mirror and like they just feel fly. That's like why I do it, Yeah.
Excuse me. What are some of your thoughts about social media when it comes to influencing and makeup?
Yeah, so I do enjoy social media when it comes to makeup and YouTube and influencers and things. I really do enjoy being staying up to date on products, on trends. I really do. It's funny because with YouTube too, there's just so much influencers and makeup artists on YouTube. But it's actually interesting for me because I know a young girl who completely learned how to be a makeup artist through YouTube.
Yeah.
It's like, and she's phenomenal. She does all those IG looks, so I feel like it comes in handy for folks to even learn how to do it and to actually, it's funny because she's young, I think she's like 19, 20. So it's like she completely learned on YouTube. And for me, I might go on YouTube before I went into professional makeup artistry and doing the certificate course, I would go on there to like learn new looks.
Yeah.
Super helpful. And as far as influencers are concerned, I actually, I don't want to say work, but I have a partnership with a brand called Lash Themes. So they're out of New York and they have colorful lashes, all kinds of bright colors. Yeah, I'll link you to it. So I have a partnership with them and where they'll send me lashes and I'll post them to my Instagram. And just, I feel like influencers are the wave of the future that brands are trying to get involved themselves with because it broadens their audience. in a way that they necessarily can't do just from their vantage point. So I feel like, you know, the influencer age is helpful a lot to brands and businesses.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Like that's how I've learned how to do a lot of look is through social media and watching like YouTube and now Facebook Live and practicing on myself. That's how I got into makeup and learning new looks. So
yes, exactly.
If it wasn't for YouTube, I probably wouldn't know half the stuff that I'm doing, like as far as technology and you know, do it yourself projects. Like YouTube is it for me.
Exactly.
Like my library is so long, but everything from sewing, you know, I do a lot of, you know, DIY crafts. So
beautiful. I'd love to see some of that.
Sure, I'll share with you. So we'll after the interview, we'll
definitely.
What are some of your favorite looks to do?
So I love, let's see, I feel, you know, the window halo look where like there's the light color, then the darker color, and then in the corners, and then the glitter or the shimmer in the middle. That's like one of my favorite looks. I didn't realize that was like, I learned that look in makeup school, but I love that. I love to play with bright colors.
Yeah.
Especially on women of color. I love bright colors on women of color. I like to play with like shimmers. Like, oh yeah, this picture right here. I love like the shimmery golden looks. Yeah. I love golden looks on us.
Love that look.
Color. I love golden looks. I love the bright looks. Also, like I also like a deep contour. I like the dramatic look of a deep contour. Like it just pops. I feel like. Yeah, and I've also begun to get into recreating looks too.
Yeah.
So like when I see, like celebrities and things, or just people on influencers or people on IG, you know, that I follow, I got into like recreating looks too. And I was also, actually, this is a fun fact. So in Boston, I don't know if you were aware of the weekly Slay challenges that were going on. Do you follow any of the makeup artists that were doing that?
No, I don't.
It's okay. Well, it was a group of makeup artists. No, you're good. It was a group of makeup artists like Alexia J, Sarah Beth, and Racine in the city, Racine Bell. So they had come up with weekly challenges during quarantine. So it started, I think it was March when the very first one started. So I've done them all along. They basically it was like, let's see, the first look was like Pose, the show Pose, like Slay. There was Carnival, there was pop art, there was Met Gala, Black Lives Matter, Pride, glossy look. So it was all, every week it was just a different new challenge. Unfortunately, we've kind of slowed down with it because everyone got back to working and things, but it was an amazing experience for me because I got to challenge myself every week with a brand new look. I actually should have put those pictures. Funny, you'll see. Well, anyone that follows my Instagram can look at them. But
I'll definitely go back and look at them because, like, just stepping outside the box. Like when it comes to makeup, to me, like, there's nothing like. Well, maybe it's just me. Stepping into a room where all eyes are like on you. You know, you feel like Beyonce with the wind blowing through your hair. Slow motion. I love feeling like that. You know. You know,
I completely agree. Yep.
Excuse me.
No, you're good.
Okay. As for like anybody that wants to get into makeup or beginners that would love to maybe do makeup artistry, what are some tips or that you can give them, that you can share and give them?
Yeah, I would say don't be anxious about your kit because when I started out, oh my God, everything is so expensive and you want to grab up everything. But I would say for beginners to really focus on the necessities and go from there. Like basically whatever you need as a necessity, start with that because I feel like to build up a broader kit in a complete kit, it could take some time. Not all of us have like $3,000 or so to just start with. So I would say don't put pressure on yourself to build up in a fantastic kit. Just focus on what you need. And also too, if you have a certificate and like a website, a lot of brands will offer pro discounts. So where you could get discounts to the product. So also I would say apply to all the pro programs you can. I have I have MAC, I have NARS. benefits. And also like there's online warehouses too, where you can get pro discounts too. So I would definitely recommend people, if they, I think you have to have like either a certificate or a website. So there's a few things that you need to have. But
Yeah.
if you do have those things, I would definitely look into pro programs, I would say, for beginners. And at this point in my makeup artist career, I still consider myself not a beginner, but like someone who's intermediate.
Yeah.
I've only, you know, like I said, it's only been almost 2 years. So my advice even to myself is really just not to compare myself to other makeup artists. Is when you get into that comparison, you start to doubt yourself.
Yeah.
With anything in the world, if we compare ourselves, we're going to doubt ourselves and downplay who we are and our creativity. So I feel like for me, even like my looks aren't like the IG pinup looks, right? Like I do more of a natural brow on my clients.
Yeah.
I have looks that pop, but not in the sense of like the I don't know how to explain it, like that, you know, that IG look that people like with the brows and like the I don't know how to explain it in detail, like in words, but for me, I do some, you know, a little bit of different things than that. I'm not like that cookie cutter makeup artist. So for me, I just have to, you know, people that love my skills are going to come see me again. I've had, of course, repeat clients. So it's like, I can't just make myself into something specific as a makeup artist. I have to go with who I am in my artistry well, I also consider makeup artistry to be a form of visual art. So we all have our unique, you know, kind of like styles within art. So I feel like for me, even to other makeup artists and to myself, I always tell, just stick to who you are and your style, and people are going to flock to you regardless, because as long as you're confident with what you do, and of course, I'm always doing my own looks, so that brings clients to me. So and whenever I go out, I want to be made up. So definitely as a tip to makeup artists too, if you're going out and you're networking, always beat your face for the gods, because that you're advertising yourself.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What are some of your thoughts on skincare, since you went to school for?
It's funny because I got my certificate in makeup mastering, but I wanted to go back for aesthetics, but I didn't. I didn't have the time for that. So I'm like, I'm not an esthetician, but of course, skincare is like the crucial basis for makeup in general. For you want to have a flawless canvas, if you can have a flawless canvas. So for me, I tone, I of course wash. You have to, I don't know why some people do not wash their makeup off every night. And I'm like, I don't know why. I'm like, please y'all, don't do that to yourselves. So there's myths out there that makeup makes you look older and things like that. I don't believe any of those myths at all. Yeah. But you do want to wash your face after you wear it, clean your face, you know, wash it. I definitely have a few steps when I come. I'll wipe it off first, then I'll maybe do another wipe, then I'll cleanse it, then I'll tone it. So it's like you want to, even though I'm not like an esthetician, I don't have exactly steps mapped out, but for me, that's the basis of what I do. And then I love the Aztec clay mask. Have you heard of that, Chari? Yeah.
I've used the Bentonite clay before. I used my hair and my face.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah. I try to do that. I love that. It like will completely tighten up those pores and everything.
Yeah,
so it's a product that yeah, same. Yeah, exactly. So I rock with that all day. I don't want to recommend too much other stuff because like I'm not an esthetician, but of course skincare is the primary thing with makeup. You want to, you know, definitely take care of what's under all that. So it can reflect beautifully when the makeup is on top of it.
What if who have as far as some of your clients, what I'm trying to say, as far as some of your clients, what have some of the looks that you have done on them, either what events have you done that we might know of, or if you
have you heard of the Slut Cracker? Every December, it's at I think it's the Somerville Theater. So it's burlesque, of course. It's like you know, it's burlesque. So I haven't
been. I would love to go, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, definitely go this year. Well, I don't know if they're gonna have it this year. Actually, come to think of it, because of COVID. That's too bad. Yeah, well, last year I did makeup for the Slut Cracker. I did a fashion show at Harvard University. I forget what what organization that was within Harvard University, but I did that fashion show. I'm trying to remember the other fashion show that I did where it was at. Oh my God, I can't remember, but I feel like the Slut Cracker is probably my biggest thing that I've been behind the scenes on, because mostly I just freelance and I have regular clients. But I've done a few fashion shows, and mainly the Slut Cracker I think is the biggest thing locally that people know of that I've been on set for and done makeup for.
Excuse me. Do you have any mentors as far as makeup artists or that you look up to?
Definitely. I'm going to share with you their handles and things. So as far as like local Boston artists, Alexia J, I look up to Alexia J. I look up to Sparkle.
Yes.
Yeah, Sparkle Thames, or Thames, I think it's pronounced. I also just of course follow people on IG and on social media, other makeup artists or other influencers that are into makeup. So I have a lot of people that I look up to, but as far as like watching tutorials, I actually like to watch people that I know. And they also give me, and when I talk to them, they give me tips too. They give me ideas for, strategies on how to do certain looks. And I'm just really grateful for, Vanya Arroyo is another woman who I look up to in the makeup artistry industry. I love, I'm trying to think of who else. Oh my God. I think she's like Lala Coco Chanel Faces. She does a lot. She's on, she does a lot of tutorials too on like Facebook and things. Yeah. So of course I love to watch tutorials because you never stop learning. And I'm humble. Like I know I've only been doing it for almost 2 years. I'm very humble. Like I don't charge $100. I'm like, I'm work my way up there. Yeah. But I'm still very humble. I'm learning from everyone, everywhere, getting tips from everyone, everywhere. So, yeah, exactly. Excuse me.
I don't know what's going on this weather.
I know. I'm so tired. I'm already tired of it.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about like what you're doing now and what you foresee in the future as far as your makeup artistry. Excuse me. Would you mind sharing like some of your goals with us as far as your makeup artistry? Would you like to maybe like, go into doing like special effects or either just being a local makeup artist versus or starting your own brand, things like that?
It's funny you say that because I actually got a scholarship to it's a course at Fashion Institute of New York. It's called Beauty Industry Essentials. So basically with that course, it's the product kind of like the learning of how to make products, like how to like actually brand. It's like the business of the beauty brand. Okay. So I'm going there, I'm taking that course. So eventually I do want to have my own line, my own product line, specifically for people of color too. Yes. I want to have it at a fair price point. But of course, like good quality, but it's going to be a long process that will take. But that is my ultimate goal, is to not just do faces and make people up, but to also have a product that, I can sleep and make money instead of like being on my feet and bending over, it's like, I would love to kind of have a successful product line down the line. But for right now, I'm content where I'm at, because like I said, my main thing is spoken word poetry. So that's like what I've been doing for a long time. I'm coming up with a project that's going to be coming out soon where you can see my makeup artistry skills. And I won't say too much about that, but that's going to be a project, that will come out definitely before the end of the year. My makeup artistry is a part of, I feel like, even my poetry, because at the same time, whenever I'm performing and whenever I'm on camera, I'm doing my face. So it does go hand in hand. And I just feel like I also at this point in time, like, I just want to continue freelancing, continue to grow as a makeup artist, continue to learn, eventually increase my prices, make my stock go up a little bit. So I'm content where I'm at with it. I just want to continue to just grow within it. I really feel like I've come to the terms with it as being my visual art, because I used to think, oh, I'm not talented with any visual art. I'm not like an actual artist. But the more I grow and learn and dive into makeup artistry, the more I just feel like, hey, this is actually art. It's more than just looking pretty. It's actually you're painting your face, you know. So it's an art form, and I'm grateful for it because it's another way that I can be creative.
And as far as like COVID, the pandemic and everything's concerned, how has that affected your business?
Oh gosh, so yeah, definitely. I mean, especially in the beginning, of course, no one wanted anyone near their face. That I feel like makeup artists were one of the first people. Like dentists was the first people to go. Makeup art, like all of that was like the first kind of things that just went away. And I was actually working. I had started working at the Bobby Brown counter at Macy's in the South Shore Plaza. I started working there just in February. So literally just a month later, you know, we're on leave. We're you know, it's basically like I forget the word. Furloughed. So yeah, they furloughed us shortly into the pandemic, and after. Even when they reopened back up the stores, I'm not going to be able to do makeup on faces. I would just be selling, and I don't want to sell. I want the practice. I want to do makeup. So it's unfortunately that little gig had to go because I don't want to just sell. I wanted to actually get more experience. So for me, and especially with like actually freelancing clients, I think people are just now starting to get comfortable. With going on, but of course I have my mask on. Of course I'm doing the proper sanitation between clients. You know, I'm making sure that they see me alcohol my hands every time. I'm you know, just super clean with alcohol, with hygiene, with the products, with everything. I'm just really, of course you always want to have good hygiene as a makeup artist, but even heightened now. It's at the next level, you know.
Yes, and I know, you know, I've spoken to a couple of other makeup artists that I have interviewed, and the chore that I would say like a lot of people dread is cleaning their brushes. Because of the process.
Yes. Oh, that's the bane of my existence. I'm like, you know, of course, I mean, I try. It's funny because like I used to buy like sets of brushes just so I could clean them less. But I'm like, that's not cost efficient. Like if you keep buying brushes to escape cleaning them. But I just have a little bit. But yeah, I have it's funny. I have this little like, I don't know if you've seen them advertised. It's like a spin like thing that
you put the brush in there and with the little
so I'll try and do that so they can dry quickly. I'll use that. And it's just so annoying, but I have like a little a plastic thing that has raised bumps in it, so like I'll scrub it on that way, scrub the makeup off that way. I try and like, if depending on how many clients I have in a week, just depends on, you know, how I'm cleaning my brushes. But if I have like clients, of course, back to back, I'll just use like a Sephora like brush cleaner, you know, in between clients. But yeah, I also love the like as I'm doing makeup, and if I need to use the same brush, I love these little things, the little
yes.
Yeah.
Whoever invented this is a godsend.
Yes, that's my stuff. I love that stuff too. It helps, you know, as you're doing something.
And it's just, you know, a piece of sponge, rough sponge, put in a little aluminum, and somebody's making a lot of money off of this.
Exactly. What a bright idea. I wish I invented some of this stuff.
I know. Some of the simplest things, you'd be like, why didn't I think of that? Like
exactly.
We're opening up for questions and answers. If anybody have any questions for Amber, please feel free to put them in the comment section. So I guess
Oh, I'm sorry,
I'm
Sherry.
sorry.
Oh, I was just going to plug my social media too.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, for folks to follow me, I'm at Miss Sublime Love. I also have the Sublime Face IG too, but I like to, now I'm working out of just one social media account because I want, you know, Beyonce doesn't have 10,000 social media accounts. So I'm trying to, I want to be on my status, my star status.
Yeah, that's how you think. That's how you think.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I'm going to put everything on one. So it's Miss Sublime Love. So Sublime Love is my artist name. And it's Sublime, so MSSUBLIME, and I spell love LUV. So I'm at Miss Sublime Love on most social media platforms, actually, not just IG.
All right, we can also repost some of your information.
Perfect.
Repost your links. So nobody tonight is it what?
Who's on? I'm trying to even see. I don't even think I can try and figure it out. Let me see. No questions, guys. Let me see. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't tell. I mean, I'm trying to think. Maybe I could. What else I could talk about?
I guess we could talk about products. We could talk about
so I
trends that are going on now in makeup.
Yeah, so it's funny because baking is like the thing now where like people will
hate baking.
Me
sorry.
too. I don't need to do it. Who needs to do it? But that's something that I'm like, it just doesn't seem necessary to me, but go ahead if you like it, go. You know?
Another pet peeve of mine is, I'm sorry, it might be just me when they use way too much product.
The cake you mean? Yeah. Yeah, it's like just sometimes less is more, you know.
Yeah.
I love NARS foundation, and actually a makeup artist told me that NARS is best applied with your hands, which I had no idea. Yeah, it's funny because have you heard of the Glam Squad by any chance? Yeah, so I had interviewed for the Glam Squad really early on, like kind of like that spring that I got my certificate after. After that winter, I was going through the process of getting on the Glam Squad, and it's so funny because he's like, "Yeah, if you use NARS, you actually should put it with your hand, with your fingers." And I'm like, "Really?" I mean, I love it. I still don't do it with my fingers. It's just so messy. But it's there's so many different tactics to apply, especially foundation, different brushes that can create different looks. But I completely hear you. It's like you don't need to cake it on. It's enough to just create an even layer. It's fine. Yeah. But some of my favorite products, I feel like compare like drugstore brands and high-end brands. I feel like if you can just find something that works for you, it doesn't really matter where you're getting it from, the cost. Because I've had some drugstore brand stuff that works better than some of the high-end. Yeah, and vice versa. Sometimes, like even with the high-end stuff, I get it. Like some things you can't replicate. I feel like that with NARS foundation. I feel like I cannot replicate like NARS foundation. I can't get it anywhere else. And I know some people will say, what is that? The 10th Day Idol Doll by Lancome, and some people's like top. I forget. Is it 10th Day? I'm not sure. It's like I don't know how to pronounce French, but it's a foundation by Lancome that people rave about. It's as like being their favorite foundation. But I still feel like there's still options on a drugstore level that won't have you looking crazy. I mean, you don't really, I feel like as long as you find the product that gives you the desired look you want, it can be any price. But I love to support Black-owned beauty brands though. Yes. Like Juvia's Place, Beauty Bakery. Those. Yes. So hold on. Let's talk about this palette though, real quick.
Oh wait. One second.
Hold up.
Wait, this palette right here.
Yes. Wahala.
Yes, I brought it when it first came out.
I use so much. That's like one of my favorite palettes ever in the world. Yeah. So I'm all about. I love Juvia's eyeshadow pigments and everything.
Pigmentation. Yes, definitely.
Exactly. And I also have a Black owned brand that's really cool that I love is they make lipsticks. It's called Stay Golden. I can't see if you see this, but they have glitter lip kits. So it's basically what you do is they have the applicator, which is a brush, and it's like kind of like a safe glue basically that acts as the adhesive to the glitter. So I like to plug them up too because they're a lesser known, I think, Black brand, but that's their go-to product is their glitter lip kits, and they have them in all kinds of colors. And that's perfect. Yeah, I rock those usually for performances and things like that when I'm really trying to be extra.
Still no questions? All right, we'll just continue our conversation then.
Right? Hey.
Can you give some tips about, I know people have asked previously about finding the right foundation.
Ooh,
do you have
tips?
Yeah. Especially now with COVID where you really can't, go into the store and test a lot of makeups.
I know it's tricky because sometimes what I'll do is go off of I'm trying to remember the brand. I think Fenty does this or something where you go on there and you're trying to find your shade on Fenty.com, and what they'll ask you, I don't know if it's Fenty that does this or another brand.
I know Fenty does it, and
they ask you what your similar colors
tones and
exactly.
Whether you look it's like several questions. And whether you prefer whether you look better in gold or silver.
Exactly. Yeah. A trick that I learned too is putting your thumb right on your wrist, pressing it really hard, and then lifting up real quick. And that is kind of a trick I heard. It kind of works. Some people it doesn't work on necessarily everybody, but that's a way to check out your undertone. Mm-hmm. So if you're pressing it real hard and you can kind of see what color you are undertone, if you're new, and if you're neutral or warm, that's something too that comes into play. But for me, I like the websites too that ask you what you are in other foundations, what shade you are. That's really a thing too. It's if you know if you have any shade that works for you, even if you can chat people or call customer service, but either way, just to go off of what the family is that works for you. That's even when I didn't get a tan this summer, unfortunately, because of COVID, but I was hoping for one. So I did get a darker shade for myself. And I calculated it to be 2 shades darker than what I already had.
Yeah.
But, okay, if I'm going to get a tan, then maybe 2 shades will be the kind of tan that I'll get. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been doing it for a while that I can calculate that. But
because usually, during the winter, you're a lot lighter versus the summer when you're outside and in sun more. So
exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, any questions? I'm gonna still check.
Come on, y'all. Questions, please.
So we do have a question in the Facebook chat, and one of those questions was, what makeup brand do you have that is good for colored people? Well, that is good for people of color.
Oh, people of color. So as far as foundation is concerned, even though the new Fenty foundation, I hear people love it a lot better, the moisturizing one, because the older version, the soft matte, I believe it oxidizes a little bit. At least that's what people, I've experienced that myself with it, but I love Fenty foundation because of the variety of shades that exist. I feel like Rihanna really broke the mold with inclusivity. Yeah, because especially from the 100s to the 400s, she has so many mixtures that really do work for everybody. So I do like that about the Fenty brand and how Rihanna broke that mold, because there's literally a color for everybody. Now I can say I love NARS foundation, but I'll be honest, they do not have a good enough shade variety. It's not good enough. I feel like if you wanted to get an exact match with NARS, if you want their what they're already giving you, you'd have to mix, and that's too expensive. So I feel like I love Fenty for that. Of course, Black owned beauty brands have a variety of shades too. But yeah, I would say the best brands for Black people, for me, in my opinion, and women of color, I feel like are Black owned beauty brands. Yeah. in itself. Like, I feel like, because we're the ones thinking about ourselves, you know, we're the ones thinking about ourselves and how our skin tone can vary so greatly. So I feel like, and Rihanna is Black owned, you know, it's our brand. Yeah, so I feel like it's a Black owned brand, definitely, that cater to us and what we have going on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. He found, yeah, that's my pop art challenge picture.
Okay.
I found that, yeah.
I like that picture.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the challenges that I did. The weekly challenges, that was pop art. Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said about a lot of makeup brands, like the more like when Rihanna came out with her brand, she did break the mold because she offered the darker tones, and it was more variety for those of us who cannot go into the drugstore or cannot go to that counter and buy our skin tone, you know.
Exactly.
And like you said, the independent brands now, you know, people that look like us, you know, and they know how hard it is when you try to go buy makeup and you can't find your tone. Then what do?
Exactly. Exactly. It's like you have to spend more money because you're mixing, or you're just excluded from it altogether. And it's like, are you saying that we don't have, like, that we don't exist? You know, I don't like that message that the bigger brands, like the high-end brands, sometimes give us. Is like, well, are we existing here or not? Do we have skin too? Like, do we have money too to buy, you know, to want to wear makeup, you know? I also I have a poem that I dedicate to my darker skinned sisters. I don't know, maybe, is there enough time to recite it?
Yes, you do.
Yes. Okay. So I do have a poem dedicated to my darker skinned sisters. And I am, as me being a light skinned woman, I definitely always call out the beauty of darker skinned women, because I feel like they, you know, darker skinned women do not get the attention and the love that they're so deserving of for their beautiful skin complexion, you know? So I really am careful too when especially with, because of course, like, yeah, I can do makeup on myself and all day and know what complements my skin tone, but I pay close attention to what complements darker skin tones, you know, because I want to be able to service everybody and give everyone a flawless finish. So this one is called, it's called Letter to the Black Rose. And here we go. All right. I want to be a tar baby. I'm not praying for white skin. I don't want the bluest eye, no offense, Miss Morrison. I desire the deepest, most brown, chocolate mocha skin. I want a blackout to occur when I walk in, so they don't know what hit them. I want to cover the world in my eternal history, supremely, evidently, African. Black like the universe, so beautiful. I reverse the curse in their heads that I am evil, ugly, too black, blue black, the opposite of right. You fools aren't witty enough. I wish for the blackest tone, then the earth would moan with pleasure. I would be the most divine woman, made in a creator's image. All else came from me. I dream of blackberries, black cherries, paint my skin, make me deep, like a soil that sustains the food that nourishes humanity. Make me true, the most preferable hue, the most melanin, the one that takes the longest to show age signs. I pray to wake up beautifully blessed, with my skin being the darkest, the best. I must confess, I don't like my veins to show. Cover up my mortal marks, Father. Make me the antithesis of chalk, black, like the blackboard that holds vital words, black, like the night sky, allowing us to enjoy star works. This is my confession. Everyone seems to think my lightness is some sort of a blessing, but the truth is, it's more like a curse, a sign of having been tampered with. Don't be insecure, sis. Your blackness is your pureness. You're gorgeous, limitless. I'll give you the most passionate kiss if you promise to share your goodness with me. And in the morning, have your skin align with mine, with endless love. Your sis, sublime.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you. Thank
that
you.
Made me emotional. Like growing up, you know, I'm not that dark, but, you know, growing up in the 70s, it was, you know, something different. I, you know, pretty much grew up where, you know, there were a lot of opinions about, you know, being of color and, you know, having natural hair, and you wanted to keep up with like the person that's next to you, like when relaxers. Don't want to talk about that, but I didn't get a relaxer until I was like in high school. So I here all my life, so I was always teased about it. So that really hit home. That really hit home.
I'm glad. Yeah, it's really a sad thing in our society that we still go through so much colorism stuff. I just wanted to end. I talk about it all the time, and privilege is a real thing. I don't like when light-skinned people be like, "Oh, I have no privilege. I'm Black too." Nah, you actually have privilege, my friend. Like, it's actually a little easier for you out here as a Black person when you're light-skinned. And I want to I'm just tired of colorism, to be honest with you. I'm tired of it. And I love supporting brands that have a variety of colors so that everyone can find their face.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Are there any more questions before we continue?
Question.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy, y'all. But I can take poetry questions too now. I can take that too. I can take some poetry questions.
Sure.
Whatever floats your boat, I'm good. I'm down for it.
What are some of your favorite subjects to write about?
God, so of course, Black identity is my main inspiring thing. I have a poem where it's called "Who is God?" and I talk about the Black woman as God. I also write a lot about just identity in general. I have a mental illness, so I write about that. I really try and shed light on the stigma about mental illness, because it's a huge stigma out there, and it's just like any other condition. It's diabetes. You take your insulin, So I really I talk a lot about my own identities. Oh, I think is Tom. Is he talking? I don't know if he. Hello, Tom. Do you have something to say? I didn't know if he was.
Yes. Hello.
Oh, hey, we can hear you.
Okay. So I do have a question.
Yes.
Okay. So, all right. It's my birthday, so hold on. Yeah.
My question I had was, I love wearing matte lipsticks, but my biggest task is taking it off. It's very
I know
hard.
that voice, Dial.
So what would be the easiest way of taking off the matte lipstick?
Yeah, so have you? I'm like right at my makeup desk, so I have everything. So the micellar cleansing water by Garnier. I don't know if you can see that, Garnier. I use, because I love matte lipsticks too, and I love how they stay on for as long as they stay on.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'll take a cleansing wipe at first, and then I'll also put this cleansing water on a cleansing wipe and do another layer. And then of course, there's also some people also like cleansing oils for lipstick. I use that. I don't know of any cleansing oils off the top of my head, but that would be something else that could work to remove matte lipstick. What do you think?
Well, my go-to for when I clean my face is coconut oil.
Ooh, you put me on
That's my
something
go-to.
now. Ooh, okay, you put me onto something.
Yes.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, I'm gonna try that.
Coconut oil, it takes off everything.
Really?
Everything.
Wow. Okay, thank you for this. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try and buy some now.
Yeah.
I would have never known. I would have never known that.
So after I finish the show, I'm gonna pop my eyelashes off, just take some coconut oil and just massage it all into my face and and my lips and stuff. Then I use my black African soap and make it lather real good and just lather it up, and that's what I do when I take off my makeup.
Do you think it would be okay for sensitive skin? Because I have eczema.
I have eczema.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
So that's why I lean more towards like certain products I can't use on my skin because it'll break me out. So that's why I lean more towards like the more natural stuff like coconut oil and African soap, because I have used products and after using them, I look like a thing from outer space because my face been broke out in hives. Have to be
I was so excited to try the Fenty skin line. It smells so good. It was amazing, but it completely broke me out. I hope she can have a line for sensitive skin soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another barrier we have to break through. Sensitive skin, sensitive skin people.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry, my cat is bothering me.
No, you're okay.
She's thriving for attention now that I'm not giving her. Well, I guess we got 6 more minutes, so I guess you could either take another question or we can continue talking.
Yeah, is there any more questions? I'm more than willing to take as many questions as we have. I hope we get another one in.
I have a question because when I usually do my liners, I don't know what it is. My eyes always water.
Oh.
And I try to see my eyes watering now. That's why I keep having to, dab the corner of my eye. And a lot of times it messes up my looks.
Yeah. I've had some clients that have, like, it's hard for me to apply lashes on them and liner because they're just so watery. I honestly don't, I should probably look into a solution for that myself because I honestly don't know what would be, I don't know, because of course we have eye stuff that moisturizes our eyes and gives us, but I don't know about the reverse. I don't know if there's anything that can dry out your eyes a little bit. I'd be interested, that's something that I'll probably look into because I have that with clients all the time. Well, some of them that's just like impossible.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, well, I want to do your makeup, but this is
How do you handle the blinker?
Yeah, I just
handle the blinker?
Yeah. So I'll tell them to look down and stay focused on something. Like, just if they can. I know it's very hard for them, but I'll just try them to look down and stay focused, like on one particular thing, whether that be like my belt, like my belt with my brushes or something. Like, just look down and stay focused so I can, and I try and move as fast as possible with them. That's and use, especially with lashes, just using a tool to help too. Because they're also, usually when they blink, they're sensitive to the touch on their eye too. Yeah. So I'll try and like help use a tool too, to make the process faster. Yeah. I could do another poem. You want me to end with the poem?
Yeah, take us out with a poem.
All right, let me take it. It's a short poem, so we might end like a minute or two early, but I'll take y'all out. I'll take y'all out with a poem. Okay. Yeah. This is one of my favorite poems I've ever written. And I talked about it a little bit before when I said I have a poem about the Black woman as God. So y'all gotta get ready. Are you ready for this?
We ready.
Get ready. All right. Okay, this is Who is God? The Black woman is God. I said, the Black woman is God. Let every picture of white man Jesus be destroyed. May we build new places of worship, honoring the feminine. The Black woman is God. The most ancient human skeleton was a Black woman. Mama Africa be home to humanity. It is time for all to see. We are all birthed out of dark wombs. And isn't this a metaphor for the author of the universe? She effortlessly lined up the stars and planets. Looked at Earth satisfied, thought, this has all it needs. Let me make the human race. Now I'll tell you all the real story. Mother God made us in her own image out of the earth. We came woman first, and from her rib came man. The true lesser sex. He ain't nothing without a woman. Continues to be made manifest from woman. And that original woman, be Black, be eternally beautiful, be creator, be God.
Yes. Yes. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yes.
Awesome job.
Thank you for having me, y'all. I really enjoyed my time here with y'all.
Yes, I really enjoyed having you.
Yes,
again, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And we need to hang out in real life now. In real life.
I look forward to it.
Definitely.
Nasia and I will definitely make some time whenever you want to hang out. We definitely want to talk more makeup and more opportunity for Wiseman TV and for MUAs around the city and around the country. And we love your poetry and the things that you're doing.
Yes.
Amazing job. And thank you so much for being on Wiseman TV today on the Chari Slayz Show.
Hey. Thank y'all.
You're welcome.
Be blessed. Thank you again, Amber. Thank you again.
You too.
We'll be in contact.
All right, Chari, thank you so much. Chari, take us out.
Well, that is it for another edition of Chari Slayz here on Wise Men TV. Tune in again next week, same time, 8 to 9, here on Wise Men TV. Take care. Be blessed.
Bye.